Okay, so it's now time to preview the Chelsea game on Wednesday. The first time that I've been to Stamford Bridge, so I'm quite looking forward to it. We obviously had a terrible record there until last season, when we had an amazing victory. And then obviously when we went back there this season in the Cup, it was a very frustrating game. We were short on numbers. We looked quite leggy, and we didn't manage to win on penalties, even though they didn't really threaten much themselves. Obviously, we just had quite a few defensive mistakes in the first half, which gave them a 2-goal lead. What are your thoughts on their condition, the Chelsea players, after yesterday? Obviously, they played 120 minutes. It was quite a full-on game, quite a controversial game in the end with the whole keeper-Kepa scenario. So the performance was a lot better from them, obviously, than in recent games, and especially, obviously, against City previously. But at the end of the day, they did still lose, and Sarri is looking a very, very, very troubled man. So are we playing them at a good time, first of all, Dom?
I think we are playing them at a great time where there's so much uncertainty as to, a number of players even being at Chelsea next season. Not to mention the manager, which we probably will. I think we're the worst team that they could have right now, and I believe that they will revert to a more defensive stance moving into this game. They're not going to give a lot away, but they're not going to come forward. They're not going to try to win the game. It'll probably be similar to, in some ways, to the Battle of the Bridge, where they maybe try to get a goal and then just shut up shop if they can get a goal against us. But they're not in a good place, and we need to take advantage of that. This is the game that I like to win every season. Above anything else, I love to beat Chelsea. I can't tell you how much I love it, but this is the game where we, I'm not saying that, we still have title credentials, but it would be a massive victory for us to end Sarri's time at Chelsea. Basically, that's what we're doing.
Would you agree with that, Leigh Curtin?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely is now the time to play them. And as you pick up on, it was a hard 120 minutes they played. So physically, it was draining. Mentally, it probably drained the hell out of not just the players, but the staff as well. And then with obviously, I thought player managers was a thing of the past. I didn't realise that player managers. So big shout out to Chelsea with their player manager goalkeeper, like top man. Listen, they've got a lot of sorting out to do, and even publicly, the media team were flung into action. And I don't know who their media man is or media woman, but their overtime must be unbelievable at the moment, because that club is sending out media stories like nobody's business. But listen, they keep this cause. He's caused something massive there, and their manager is on his last legs. And as Don points to, they've got 2 transfer windows where they're not allowed to sign anybody. And as I was looking around at the moment with Madrid in all sorts of bother, thinking, well, maybe this is his last season in the Prem as well. I'm not going to hang around and look around with Tammy Abrahams when I could be abroad somewhere playing with a Benzema or, Listen, they're all over the place, and they've got to try and hang in there now and fight for that 4th place, because there's another rough and tough and scummy mob just around the corner who've just popped into that place as well. So they got their own battle. So I think I'm a little bit different, Don. I think they might come and have a little go at it. They'll definitely physically try and compete with us. But if I think we're hurt. I think we're hurt from Saturday, and I think we'll do what we do best, and we'll bounce back.
Leigh, what were your thoughts?
I think I agree. I think there's probably never been a better time to play them, but for me, there's never a good time to play them, because they are a hoodoo, horrible, scummy club. So I'm never going to take anything for granted with them. I almost felt sorry for Sarri on Sunday. And if that had been me, I'd have been on the pitch dragging that fella off by his ears, right? But you're right. I don't think there's a better time to play them in terms of the state that they're in. I mean, their fans are against them, and not just against the manager, they're actually against the players. Because they can see it's an aging squad, and they can see that they're not playing for the manager, and they're not. They're all kind of just looking out for themselves. There's no team spirit there, and I think they'll want to bounce back in the same way that we'll want to bounce back. But the key for me is our team spirit. We have a far better team spirit than they do. We have a far more togetherness than they do, and so I'll be watching it, with my eyes covered because, hey, 41 years in of watching it, what else am I going to do? But I honestly do think this is our opportunity to put that to bed and move on to the other scum at the weekend.
So selection-wise, would we bring Sanchez back in? Would we stick with a back three? Would we bring in Trippier, or would we? Obviously, we'd like to bring in Kyle Walker-Peters, but he's not going to do that. So, would there be much change to that lineup for you, Dom?
I don't know how. I don't really think Danny Rose had a great game against Burnley.
No, he didn't.
And if Ben Davies is available, then I would expect him to start against Chelsea. He wouldn't. If we hadn't played against Burnley, I'd probably be saying Rose. But I think that Ben Davies is probably is a steady constant when he is on the field. He's not as dynamic or as exciting as Danny Rose, but I think he'll be. Then Foyth, I don't really want to see to be part of the game against Chelsea. He reminds me, in some ways, of a young. I hate comparing the players, but we're playing Chelsea. But in some ways, he's a bit like David Luiz, where he's trying. He spends. David Luiz physically is a lot stronger, so you can't really get him off the ball. But he has those lapses of concentration where he doesn't. He forgets he's got the ball and he gets nicked off of him. We've got to start Kane again. I think he's ready to go. And we just hope for a better performance, really. We didn't do enough against Burnley, and I really, really hope, as Leigh said, that we're going to bounce back against Chelsea, that, we are hurt and that we want to put it right. So that's all we can ask for of the players. But I don't think we need to change a lot, maybe just Foyth, because this is Chelsea, so we need to make sure that we don't have as many mistakes as last time.
Yeah. What are your predictions then, lads? What are we going for?
Well, we know what your predictions are, don't we?
I mean, it makes sense, guys. They might score and we might score more. So, 2-1 is the way to go. It makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I'm going to go. I'm actually going to go.
It was 2-1 on Saturday, wasn't it, eh?
Yeah.
2-1 on Saturday.
I'm going to go 2-1. Does anyone know if Ali's back for the game?
No, not back.
Definitely March for him. I'm going 2-1. Nolh. I think we're going to go for that.
Weirdos.
Go for that. We're missing Chelsea's chief slayer, so that they can count themselves lucky because Ali has them up for fun, doesn't he? So
yeah, very true. Actually,
2-1 for me, I think.
Okay, and Leigh.
I don't think they're going to score. I think he will go with Davison at the back. So I don't think they're going to score. I think it's going to be 2-0.
I love the fact you said, I don't think you're going to score with a massive grin on your face. It's brilliant. Yeah.
The eternal optimist.
We're going to shut them out. Brilliant. I love it. I've just realised that we also have a game on Saturday, but I think because of the magnitude of Wednesday's game and the magnitude of Saturday's game, we're going to have to do another show on Thursday, I think. So I'm not going to do the preview to the Arsenal game now. We'll talk about it on Thursday, and hopefully you guys will be able to join me then. So thank you very much for taking part once again, all the way from Dorset, Mr. Leigh Taylor, all the way from somewhere closer, Mr. Lee Curtin, and somewhere even further away, down in deepest, darkest Kent, we've got Big Bad Don. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Always a pleasure to have you on. Thank you very much for listening and watching, folks. Once again, we are the Thing I Love Most show. We are available on YouTube if you wanted to see our lovely faces. Even though we do Skype shows quite regularly, we do also have a pub where we film. It's called the Blue Coats Pub in Tottenham High Road, formerly the Pride of Tottenham. So if you want to come and have a beer with us, and we record on Mondays. TTILM Show is our Twitter handle, and we're on Instagram, and we're also on Facebook as well. So please do continue to support. We're really growing now, which is great to see, and we do appreciate all of the comments and the likes and the subscriptions that you've been giving us. We're just really looking to grow, and if you do want to get involved, then you're more than welcome to please get in contact with the show, and we'll get you on. So fingers crossed, 3 points, a good win, a clean sheet would be amazing on Wednesday. But either way, 3 points would be good. So come on, you Spurs, and we'll see you next time.